Hey, I'm Joe, and today I want to talk to you about something I hear about all the time when people are looking at new video lights. Fan noise. So let's talk about it. Is it as big of a problem as everybody thinks it is? Should it stop you from buying a light? Does it really even matter? If you're making videos professionally or for YouTube or for whatever, the goal should be to make them as high quality as you can possibly make them. And part of that, as you've heard me and countless other people say, is good audio. Obviously, if you have a light that has fan noise that's contaminating your audio in some form or fashion, that's going to lower the quality of your overall production. I just don't know if it's going to lower it as much as people make you think it is. And I'll explain. I've got a couple lights at home, and I've got a lot of lights at my day job that I use for productions and interviews and all kinds of things. And only one of them is a silent COB video light. Now, most of these lights that are used have fans. Aperture has fans, a lot of the Godox lights have fans, I have some Genere lights that have fans, I have a GBM light here that I'm lighting this scene with that has a fan. Do you hear it? Now maybe you do. People talk about it all the time when they're reviewing lights. If you're going to use this light as a key light and you're going to have your mic close to it, then you might pick up the fan noise, and you've heard this 100 times in YouTube lighting review videos. But anytime I watch one of these videos, whether I'm wearing headphones or not, the audio always has to be boosted for you to really noticeably pick up the fan noise, and I chuckle to myself. Now you can hear it. You can hear it without the levels boosted. Trust me, I know, I hear it too. I've been an editor for the last 8 years. I've edited interviews that have been shot in hospitals and in office buildings and schools, and there's always hums and noises and things that you're fighting with. A refrigerator, air conditioning units, you've got lights that have buzz. I mean, you're always fighting with these kinds of noises, and if you can eliminate them, you should, and I agree. But what I want to talk about today with fan noise, and something that I think people get too hung up on in this space, specifically when looking at gear on YouTube, is it shouldn't be the deciding factor for you to purchase a light if you don't have lighting equipment to begin with. If you have lights and you're looking to upgrade, you want to take it to the next level, you want to keep leveling up your production quality, but the lights you have already have fans and they're already loud and you want to improve upon that and you're going to make that investment in gear, by all means, get a light with a quieter fan or without a fan. But if you're sitting around and you don't have a light and you're looking at lighting reviews and somebody's discouraging you from picking up a light that is a budget-friendly light, like an Aperture Amaran that just came out, or this GBM 80-watt light that I have here, don't worry about it. Honestly, listen right now. Is my audio unlistenable to you? Is this really unbearable with the fan noise that I have right now? Does it destroy the quality of this video? Now, there might be other elements of this video that destroy the quality of it too, but if there's a reason not to watch it, is it because of the fan noise? To illustrate my point a little bit further, I'm going to go through two scenarios with two lights that I own. One is this GBM 80-watt COB light, one of the loudest fans on a light that I have heard, and the Godox UL 150, which they advertise as a silent video light, completely fanless. I'm going to set both of them up as a key light. I'm going to set them in the same place. I'm going to set my microphone in the same place. I'm going to leave my microphone at the same level. We're going to listen back to this. I'll deliver a couple lines of dialogue. I'll shoot a couple lines completely silent. I am not going to boost my audio levels. I want you to listen and tell me what you think. So this is the UL 150. It is a completely silent light. They don't have a fan. It cools by heatsink. So the only background noise you should be hearing right now is my toddler or any ambient sound if like a furnace kicks on or anything like that. Right now the room sounds pretty quiet. Curious to know what you guys think this sounds like. Right now I'll show you a shot of what my setup looks like. The microphone is literally directly underneath the softbox that I'm using, almost as close as you're going to ever get it to a light fixture. So again, the UL 150, this should be silent. I'll shut up right now and let you hear just the ambient sound of the room. And my son. Okay, so this is the GVM 80 watt COB light. Again, this one has a fan on it, probably one of the louder fans I've ever heard on a COB light. And my mic right now is literally right here. You might even be able to see it. I can't tell with my monitor that far away if you can see the edge of that windscreen. And it is literally almost pressed against my softbox, so the light is directly behind it. Again, I'm curious to know if you hear the fan running behind it. I'll shut up again here and let you hear the ambient sound with the fan running. So right now, this is the fan noise that I have when this light's set to probably 40% brightness. I did that just to match the exposure of the GVM light. It has a lot higher output, so I had to boost it a little bit. The GVM light was like barely on when we ran this test the first time. I'm going to crank this up to 100% so that we get the full effect of that fan running, assuming it's like a gradient of how powerful it runs when the light's at a higher power. So we'll see if that makes any difference in the fan noise real quick. I'll try that, adjust for my exposure, and then let you listen again. I have taken this up to 100% power now and stopped down my aperture a little bit so that we could get a similar exposure. Again, my monitor's way across the room from me right now, so don't know exactly what my exposure value is, but it looks like it's pretty close. And again, for this one, I'm mostly doing this to check the fan noise audio as well. So I'm curious to know if you hear that over me speaking right now. Microphone hasn't moved, haven't adjusted my audio levels. Simply powered this up to 100% to see if that fan noise would be any louder. And right now I will be quiet and let you listen to that ambient sound again. So honestly, what'd you think? The price point between these lights isn't crazy. The GVM light comes in, I think, at $120 for the fixture, and the Godox UL 150, I believe, is around $440. Both super reasonable prices for fixtures that perform the way that they do. Personally, I think the GVM light is incredible for the price point. Now, the build quality is not great. We can talk about the light specifically in another video. But for the output and for the versatility that it provides, the fan noise to me for that light, pretty minimal issue. So that's my 2 cents. We can talk specifically about each of these fixtures in a video down the road, but I just want to try and knock away at this idea that just because a light has a fan and the fan isn't like the quietest fan you ever heard, don't rule it out as an option for you, especially if you don't have the lights with that output yet. If the only light in your kit is a 15 watt panel LED, but you want a COB light so that you can have more high output, you can run it through a softbox or diffusion and get softer light, you can bounce it off of a white wall and get softer light, or you can have higher contrast stuff or just generally have higher output for a variety of scenarios, don't let it stop you. Now, so many people would disagree with this, and I think their arguments are valid. For me, getting stuff in my hands to just enable me to make the things I want to make, like these YouTube videos, is way more important and powerful than having something that is 100% perfectly silent. Obviously, we all want to put out the best quality we can, and I encourage you to do so. You got to make your own choice on what matters to you. But if it matters more for you to just hit the ground and be able to go, and you can spend that $120 right now on a light like this that's going to have a little bit of fan noise, don't let somebody scare you away because they said the fan noise is unusable. Maybe that just forces you to look at how you're setting up your mic and your light. My 2 cents. It's just something that's made me laugh over the years. I encourage you guys to talk about it in the comments below. Please be kind. But I can take a little bit of discourse, I understand. Not everybody sees it the same way. And on a professional set at the end of the day, I want to deliver the best work for my client. So this might be a different story in that situation. I appreciate you guys watching. If you are interested in seeing a full-blown review of each of the lights I talked about today, let me know down below. I will be happy to create one of those for you. I've used both of these lights a handful of times now. The GVM light significantly more, as I just got the Godox light over the holidays in 2020. But that's it for now. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hearing out my little bit of a rant, and I will see you on the next video.